This is the story of Sedona, Arizona, a bucolic town of 10,000 residents nestled in northern Arizona, Red Rock Country, 100 miles south of the Grand Canyon South Rim. Part of this scenic town is called the Heart of Sedona. It is located at the intersection of Brewer Road and Ranger Road. It's called the Heart of Sedona because of its unparalleled beauty and nature, and partly because of the history that's here. For instance, buildings like the historic Ranger House, which was built more than 100 years ago and is the oldest standing residence in Sedona, and its accompanied horse barn, both of which are designated as National Register of Historic Places. But there are those who have a totally opposite plan for what the heart of Sedona may look like pretty soon. Their version looks more like the heartbreak of Sedona.
I have no partners. It's just me, and I'm a builder. I have builders, artists all on payroll. I own Callaway Homes, Callaway Development, and Callaway Realty. I own all those companies alone. When I break ground on the roads, which could be 90 days.
Oh yes, there are deals being made and plans apparently approved already.
So it's in front of the city right now, and I'm having a pre-plat recording meeting in about 2 weeks. Say 90 days from now, I'm hoping that they'll start coming in and grading this. Approved by city council members like 3 years ago, and it lasts forever. The approval's good forever. You know, even the mayors, I know the mayors. I've done more developments in Sedona than anyone. I've done 6 subdivisions. Anyway, the mayors will get up and say we're against it, and they're calling me to buy their 5th home. So they're buying them right and left and saying they're against it. It's a kick.
The developer plans to begin construction in October 2021 of a brand new subdivision of $1 million homes and short-term rentals just behind the old school building, across from the historic Ranger Park on Brewer. This will add earth-moving equipment, excavation, and construction vehicles to Brewer and Ranger Road for years to come. This is part of a Sedona that was so cherished by residents and city leaders that the city bought the land to create a new community park, a park with picnic tables, a community garden, a children's play area, and even pickleball courts. But that was 7 years ago. What's happened since then? Pretty much nothing at all. The park has been used as dumping grounds for landscaping material, road equipment, porta potties, Talakapaki parking, and leftover Christmas trees. But someone else has other plans for this community park in this heart of Sedona. What's better than a community park for families and children than driveway for exclusive use of timeshare and hotel guests and tourists? Adding hundreds of cars a day to Brewer Road, a road that serves local residents and neighborhoods. Neighborhoods that still have water rights to irrigate their land from the Ownby irrigation ditch that was built by Sedona's founding families over 100 years ago. These are the families, neighborhoods, and homeowners who were here before the big timeshare resort and hotels. These homeowners were so afraid of the resort trying to put hotel traffic through their residential neighborhood where children live and play that they demanded and got legal binding easements forbidding such traffic. These easements remain a part of these homeowners' property rights today. These agreements were codified and incorporated into the conditions of approval by the Coconino County Board of Supervisors for Los Obregados to be built in 1983. The developers of Los Obregados and Coconino County agreed in writing that there would be no resort vehicular traffic on Prochnow and Brewer Road except for emergency vehicles. Residents in these neighborhoods used to be able to walk through a pedestrian gate to access the restaurants, spa, and creek of the resort or even Talakapaki. But the resort locked the gate up several years ago and eventually even bricked it up. But who will get special access to the spa, health club, restaurants, and creekside park of the resort now? Well, of course, the $1 million homeowners and their short-term rental customers who will live across the street from the park.
As you can walk to Talakapaki and the creek, we're going to have executive membership. I know the CEO of Los Obregados. So we're going to have access to their restaurants with 20% discounts, their spa, their saltwater pool, their creek park, their lit tennis courts, everything. That's kind of the clubhouse of the resort. And they're going to put a back gate for us. With like a code just for us.
And all of Brewer Road will be clogged with traffic. This was a road which Coconino County said years ago was already overloaded condition with regard to current traffic volumes relative to the roadway's ability to safely support traffic. Elise Black of the Transportation Action Program of ADOT voiced concern at that same meeting about the dangerous traffic problem and the blind curves on Brewer. This is a road that already has nearly a dozen blind curves along its path. Just because the timeshare, hotel guests, and tourists want the convenience of a back exit. The timeshare resort's new driveway will run straight through the planned community park, which, by the way, is on a land that the timeshare company used to own, but lost during an earlier bankruptcy. But now they're getting part of that land back free of charge from Sedona's Planning and Zoning Commission, City Council, and staff. And since the city has dragged its feet 7 years in developing the community park it promised its residents, now they're planning to make it a parking lot with a shuttle van stop for the timeshare, hotel, and Tlaquepaque tourists who want to go hiking all over Sedona. Adding hundreds of more vehicles to the Brewer Road and Ranger Road intersection that already is clogged with traffic. The city is moving its municipal court offices to the school building across the street from the historic Ranger Park, kicking out a charter school for Sedona school children that was there for years in order to make room for themselves. This heart of Sedona is being desecrated. Timeshare hotels and tourist cars coming out of the back of Los Abogados, a shuttle van stop, parking lot in the historic Ranger Park, special access for million-dollar homeowners and short-term rental customers, and shuttle van administrative offices instead of a charter school. It will be a traffic gridlock for all of the residents along the Brewer Road corridor, which used to be the heart of Sedona. But city leaders and big business are turning it into the heartbreak of Sedona. But some people might not be heartbroken like the new owners of Los Abogados or the developer who was partners with the CEO of the timeshare company and is now working on a sweetheart deal with the city and Los Abogados.
I run the whole thing. You can never overturn me. I run the whole thing. It'll be my law, period. That's how I do my subdivisions. Stay a dictator. I don't deal with like big HOA, presidents, vice presidents. It's one guy runs the whole thing, and that's me.
Again, I'm not using local excavators. Tiffany is the big local guy, and I know Herb Tiffany. Super expensive. They all are. They're all drawing on Sedona subs. They're most expensive. We're drawing all from Phoenix. They commute for us. And even with that commute, even if we reimburse them, it's cheaper. So I'm going to do a really high-end 30-unit, like Four Seasons grade assisted living memory care.
What hasn't been discussed is why the park would be so beneficial for all who live and visit Sedona. Sedona does not have enough public green space as it is. Yes, we have hiking trails, but to have a neighborhood park that all can use and enjoy is a basic need for all communities. Because of the historic nature of the buildings on the property with the Hummingbird House across the street, it would be a huge upgrade that would benefit the whole area, not just a few. What's more heartbreaking about all of this is the city leaders and staff not only are letting it happen, they're complicit in developing and approving these plans. All for the companies and billion-dollar corporations that feed off tourism in Sedona, to the detriment of residents and neighborhoods like those in the heart of Sedona.